Okay, seems we're live.
Mhm.
Okay, so hello everyone. I almost forgot which game I'm doing first, because I already had my second game loaded. But I was able to switch this one quickly. So this is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Dragons of Flame, one from the Dragonlance series. This one was only released on the NES in Japan, as opposite to the Heroes of the Lance, which was also in the West. It's a pretty old RPG, so there is no leveling, and it's a very short adventure. So, without further ado, I guess let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go. So, the game starts where the Heroes of the Lance finished. We retrieved discs of Mishakal, and the Dragon Army has arrived. So now our party discusses that and thinks there's a lot of draconians and they probably took some people hostage to their base nearby. And there is a base nearby, a fort named the Pax Starkas. So we're gonna head there now. And also, if you're wondering why everything is in English in the Japan exclusive game, I'm using a fan translation. The text, as you can see, isn't that fast, so you can probably read some. I wasn't actually using the translation before, so I don't really know the story well. And I'm dropping a ton of frames, sorry about that. So now we're in the overworld section, and there are enemies spawning, and where they spawn is determined by where I'm walking at. So they will spawn in the direction I'm walking at, except when I'm walking right, because then they will spawn at the bottom instead of on the right. Okay. We're almost halfway through this first overworld part, and so far so good. Okay, first encounter. So, during encounters, the game switches to side view. It feels a bit like Zelda 2, I'd say. And also worth noting about enemy AI, they move 2 steps toward us and 1 step at random, so it's best if we don't get much encounters. Also, sometimes I'll be walking in the wall just so enemies spawn somewhere where they won't bother me. And I accidentally got him where he bothered me. Oh well. Also, no, I cannot run away from encounters. I have to defeat all. So yeah, if there are any donations, it's perfect time, I'd say.
Okay. Well, it looks like we don't have any right now, so please send in your donations. We have some really great prizes that you should be interested in. For example, we have Moogle Perlers, Rabite Perlers, Terra Perler, and Reese Perler that has been made by the RPG Chick.
Okay, almost done with the first section. So here's the fort, but going straight into front gate is a dumb idea, so we're gonna talk to this elf, Gilatinas, and they'll get us to their village, and from there to the back entrance to the Pax Starkas through the cave of Slamori. Also, this heals us, so all this critical damage I took while fighting those encounters is no more. Almost forgot that I'm in control now. So now we have to head to this cave of Slamori, which is south from here. And maybe we get... Oh, no enemy here. Usually there are 2 enemies in an encounter, but now... So now we get those new enemies, Draconians. They explode on death and that damages us, as you can imagine. So gotta be a little careful with them. And we're in the cave. So this is section which is the hardest for me because you have to follow the path and it's pretty convoluted. And so are my nodes because they are R1, L1, R1, L1 and so on. So that was right one, left one. So now I don't have to fight, so I'm gonna get past enemies. In case of ogres, I'm gonna stab them because this makes them hit me less. In case of other enemies, I will just jump over them. Although with flying enemies, I have to jump earlier because their hitbox is weird. For a second I got confused on where to go. My first hero will likely die, but that's okay because now my cleric moved to the front row and now I can heal my party. And the cleric, the Gold Moon, she's actually a pretty good healer. I think I'm gonna heal now. Optimally, you wouldn't need to heal at all, but well, I'm not so great at this game. Wait, I already got lost in my map. Okay, let's see if this is... Okay, this is wrong, so I know where am I in my notes now. Good. So those red draconians, they cast spells. But luckily you can always dodge under them, so they're not that big of an issue. And this is where I skip the door, finally. Okay, I got a little careless. But that's okay. As long as my mage, which is that character in the hood, survives, everything is fine. Because I need my mage for a bit later. And here we go. We head into Pax Tarkas. And I could technically resurrect my heroes, but no need to. Okay, and in Pax Tarkas there are those ogres behind the pit, and those I will always put to sleep because they're just too dangerous, and I'm failing to get past those eagles? No, hippogriffs, I guess. Usually if there's one ogre in the room, there's gonna be a second one behind a pit. And before you ask, yes, pits are instant death. So better not fall into them. And now we're gonna actually fight a boss. And that boss is... it's a goblin, armed with a crossbow. So I'm just gonna go next to him, spunk him sometimes, and he's done for. He tells us to go see some old sage, but who has time for that? Whoa. I'm letting a lot of my people die. Hopefully my dwarf won't die because he's very important for later. Okay, L1. Okay, I don't remember if there are some traps here, so let's just heal, because as I said, dwarf is pretty important to me. And now we go into this dark room with pillars and menacing music. And what's this? A dragon. So now we're gonna fight it. It's not a very dangerous boss. All it takes is 3 magic missiles, and how much damage does magic missile do? D6? Not much, I think, but that's enough to kill a dragon here. 1d4 plus 1 per missile, and that was a single missile per cast as you've seen, so... How much HP that dragon had? Not much. But we're not done yet. There's one more thing that we have to do in this place. Yeah. And here we meet the big guy, Verminard himself, I think. And he teleports between left and right end of the room. However, if I go back far enough, he'll teleport to back where he stood. And if I'm far enough, he uses this ranged attacks. I think that's some spell, but as you can see, my dwarf is pretty short, so he can't even hit me. Unless he melees, but this doesn't happen too often. Also, if you're quick enough, you can actually hit him before he even does anything. Oh. And he's done for. Yes, and time. I don't know what my time was, but that wasn't very good run. I let 4 of my people die.
You came in under your estimate, so that's a win, right?
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
this game is pretty rough in the overworld section, because I always lose a ton of time there. So yeah, that's Dragons of Flames. So I guess since we're still a bit ahead, I let the ending play, and then I'm gonna do my second run.
Thank you so much for sharing Dragons of Flame with us, and we're looking forward to what's up next.
And up next is my other run, The Times of Lore, which is also a pretty old RPG from about the same era. And it also feels pretty old compared to what we currently perceive as an RPG.
Sometimes you gotta break out the classics, you know? I have some donations here I can read if that's alright.
Sure thing, go ahead.
Okay, I have $25 from Fredison. A friend of mine recently played FF10 and accidentally deleted the last character of Valifor's name, hoping to immortalize his goof by naming Valifor Valifo and giving to a great cause in the process. So that was toward Final Fantasy VII naming Valifor. I have $10 for Azakael. I do like Thwart as a class. It is the closest to Red Mage that I can get in D&D without house rules. And that goes towards the Disgaea 4 fight with Val. And from Fishy153, $10. No donations during an obscure Dragonlance game? Speed through and take my gold coin. Thank you for your donation. That also goes towards Disgaea 4 fight with Val.
Okay, I guess ending played, so we're now gonna skip the credits and go straight to the next game of mine. The Times of Lore. I assume we're going without any transition for this.